Alright, hopefully that fixes things. Because if it doesn't, then I don't know why. I think this is too high quality. Like, I have 1080p going on for a live stream. And then on top of this, and you kind of have something that wants to be a bitch. This, Alright. Not really sure how long this live stream will go for. It's at least longer. I might have to downgrade the quality of the live streams in order for this to stay working. I don't know. Welcome back. But yeah, I don't know why live streams ended itself like twice. Like, the first time it gave me a pop-up saying that it stopped, and now this one going after the previous one just automatically ends without my knowledge. It's a bit of a weird thing. Because for the original live stream, it only lasts for like a few seconds, and the second one, which is the one you saw, lasted for essentially 25 minutes. And it looked like I was live streaming for longer than that. So, yeah, I don't get why that's a thing in this case. Because it's never done that before. I've never had any problems originally. Then again, that's not by default I have the live stream quality itself at 1080p, and then I have vibrant visuals in this texture pack on. However, I'm focusing on performance and not quality, so I don't know why it's being a nuisance. And I'm hoping it's just my console not being used to the texture pack, because otherwise I'm not going to be happy if I have to, like, downgrade the quality of the live stream just to keep this texture pack working for me, without having to have live streams automatically end themselves. It's one of those stupid things. That I am extremely concerned about doing. And there goes my second pickaxe. Obviously, if the live stream automatically ends itself again, I'm just gonna have it be what it is, and I'll probably just either lower the quality of the live stream itself before I start another one, or I'll just turn off the texture pack. Whichever fixes the problem. Otherwise, it's gonna be a fucking issue. And I can only handle dealing with this for so many times. Like, it gets annoying for me. And all that. Like, I'm literally on a PS4 Pro, so I don't know why it's being such a nuisance in this case. Like, even if I do continue sticking with the settings I do have and all that, for live streaming, I'll have to monitor things whenever I play Minecraft. Just to make sure that things are running. Yeah, it's a weird thing, because I've had things work perfectly fine before. Yeah, I would have to... I don't know anyone who uses the Prisma Visuals texture pack with vibrant visuals. So I would have to see if that's a problem. If I don't see anything about that, then I will have to make a video about it myself, which I will not hesitate to do if I absolutely fucking have to. Because I would love to use a texture pack during live streams, but if it's going to have problems like that, it's not really going to be a fun time for me. And I know that there are people who'd probably love to do the exact same thing I'm doing with the texture pack. So, yeah, I may have to see about what I can do about the situation. My end, otherwise, I'll just make a video about it. Whatever the case need be. Like, I know that I've had at least a couple. Like, I know that there was, like, the one Sonic Frontiers live stream that automatically ended itself for basically no reason, but that was an easy fix, because at least all I had to do was just reboot that. And I didn't have any problems after that. So I don't know why it's being a problem in this case. It's kind of one of those things where I'll have to do trial and error to see if things can get resolved the easy way. One other thing I'm gonna have to look into, though, is see how well YouTube can handle me live streaming the settings I currently have been using. Because if YouTube can handle me running the Prisma Visuals texture pack with like 1080p for the live stream quality at the same time, then it's probably just a Twitch thing. But that's another thing I'll have to test. There's going to be a lot of testing required. Obviously, if the issue does persist, then I'll just do whatever I have to in order to make it known. And I'll just go from there. In the meantime, I'll just enjoy it. And all that, and go from there. I just know that if I want to get more texture packs purchased, I will have to wait until after Saturday. Because that's basically what I was told by my mother. So, yeah, further purchases will have to wait until after the weekend. And even then, there's no guarantee I'll be able to get the other texture packs I want to try out. But I know that this specific texture pack works perfectly fine with the video recordings, but live streams seem to be an entirely different situation. From what I am understand it. And I just found 4 more diamonds. Add to my collection. Down here, that's nice. Yeah, aside from the problem involving live streaming with this texture pack on, it's not that big a deal. Even if it does seem like one for content creators such as myself, which case it is, but, you know, under normal circumstances, like outside of video recordings and all that, you know, doable. At least this texture pack can be used in videos, nothing else, so. That'll always be a nice bonus. Alright. Not really sure how much further we'll have to go for the cave system for digging down here. At least I have a diamond pickaxe, so I don't worry about going up and down too much. But one of the things I brought up before the, like, I reckon it was after the previous live stream in itself, is that I do have 2 other channels in the my other channels category on my main YouTube channel. So, you know, this is going to be things planned for the future involving those, I'd say. Okay, I was not expecting to dig down to bedrock level so quickly, but okay. I've never done that in one sitting, but I guess that means I still have to go in a different direction without having to go down. Ooh, found more diamonds. Just right away. I was not expecting to find a lush cave down here. Ugh. I have a good amount of it. This cave system. I was not expecting to find one. It's actually my first time actually finding one that's explorable, and not just one of those small-sized ones. Actually, look, awesome sauce with this texture pack on. I'm like, holy shit! Stunned in silence from pit. I came across this area. This is that great to see. It's also good to know that the dripstone will stand out like a sore thumb. I'll come in handy. So I don't end up accidentally running into that. Yeah, that's... In your case, though, for me, it's more like... I think a fucking problem. I just see something I can't really deal with, because I don't have any skills with technology outside of what I use it for every day. So, repairing things would be beyond me. Essentially, at that point. As for dealing with something that I just dealt with twice today, it shouldn't really be that hard to figure out. Especially since it's not that big of a deal. Well, it seems like this live stream is going pretty well so far. It's definitely longer than the previous two. Sadly, only one of them got archived for like one of the previous ones. The shortest one was only a few seconds long, so I don't really know why that one didn't get archived. But then again, if it happened not too long after I started, there probably wasn't enough time to even consider that. So, yeah. Not really sure I'm gonna do the previous live stream and then this one for like uploads, because it's like, yeah, I could do two separate ones, but not. But I know I normally do long form content, so if I were to change it to like something, or to have it be shorter momentarily, then I think that's like out of place. And all that. You end up getting a good view. I have like 20 of them on me right now. It's a good thing I'm in peaceful, otherwise I would probably be long gone. And I wouldn't be able to find my stuff at that point. It's actually the most diamonds I've found. Well, crazy enough, in terms of finding this cave system, I had to go digging, making one long tunnel. I found some diamonds on my way through it, and I eventually found this cave system. And this cave system is part of the cave system that you saw me in during the previous live stream. But the part that I ended up in when I did a separate section for digging around was one of the lush caves with like the moss blocks and stuff like that. You know, the biome with the glowberries. I was stunned into silence when I saw that because I've never seen one explorable. It was just that beautiful with this texture pack. Okay, that was a frame rate drop. Hopefully it's not one that it'll cause things to force themselves to end, because I would rather not have another incident like that, if I can help it. Regardless, at least I ended up getting a phenomenal texture pack. So, yeah, despite the flaws, it's really not all that bad. Yay, another diamond. I'm holding on to 21 diamonds. Ooh, an amethyst geode all the way in here? Yeah, I actually did bring up the, like, in terms of one of the videos that I recorded, like, last night, I did bring up the entire diamonds situation a little bit, in a sense. Okay, the amethysts even glow? Oh, wow. Okay, that I was not expecting that. Of all things. What the? 2 amethyst geodes close by? Holy shit. On jackpot. For amethyst in here. That's just crazy. Not expecting to find 2 in one go. Sadly, the world seed for this world, it doesn't work. That's only if you want to, although a lot of my videos are over an hour long. Especially those old live streams of mine. Depending on which one you watch, though, you will probably end up bumping into part of my past that I'm not exactly proud of. So, if you watch like ones from like 2018, just know that I was extremely immature at the time. So you know there will be some context that may need to be explained depending on what it is, and all that. So, yeah. Oh, another deep dark section in this cave system. How do let's block out that lava or something. Yeah, I'll do that. With the lava to go on through. I'm on torches, so I'll have to place them wisely here. Okay, this one's a big one. Fortunately, I'm in peaceful, so I can wander around as much as I want. But oh yeah, we definitely got. Oh, okay, yep. This is a real one. This is the real deal for this area. This is my least favorite area in cave systems. So I don't go down to the caves too often, especially when I run into this area. Yeah, but it is what it is. After all, it is worth it to change things up every now and then. No, you're literally a cutie. Come on. The evidence speaks for itself, and well, I don't think I need to finish the rest. Yes, it is. All the evidence speaks for itself. Including the cuteness debates. So, you can't convince me otherwise. can hear that from the right hand side, so... Ah, there it is. That's the block I need to get rid of, because I don't like carrying that. That sound bugs me. There's one micro sound that bugs me, it's only that random sound that just coming from the one block I just destroyed. Don't the worst. This is that scary. Oh, I just ran into another one. Wait, two. A third? All the way down there. Good thing I am playing in peaceful. Otherwise, I'd probably be dead. Just for standing out in the open. There are some who... I'm pretty sure there are some people who'd beg to differ on that claim. So... Therefore, you've always been cute. Okay, I'm not going to go worrying about all the blocks. Oh, I found a lost city down here. Yeah, no, I'm not going to stop calling you cute, because it's the truth. And I know you need positivity, so calling you cute is part of that. Since giving you positivity is part of my thing, yeah, I can't really exclude that. That's why I give you the cutie award all the damn time. Actually, this is a good spot to get the lanterns in. I'm gonna grab them. We now have some soul lanterns. Your entire personality, your face, yeah, that's more than enough. Plus, the fact that I won the cuteness debates proves the rest as well, so there's that too. Basically, everything about you is cute. Yes, they are. I've seen your face, and I've spent enough time with you to know what your personality is, and it's pure cuteness all around. I would still find you cute. What matter how you took the selfie? I don't know what your facial expression would have been. I would have still come to the conclusion that you're cute. So you're not fooling me on that. Yes. Yes, I do. I don't think I need to say more on that or that one, so... Um... yeah, you're basically stuck with me calling you cute. Literally everything about your personality is cute. And I'm not just calling you cute because I'm biased, I'm saying it because it's true. So... you're not changing my mind on that. Literally everything is an example. So, you very well know what I'm talking about. Since everything is going to be used as an example, that means everything is right there. You just have to look at things from my perspective. It's not that hard. No, literally everything about you is cute. I don't need examples when all of it's right there. When I say everything, I do mean everything. So... yeah, don't even try going there with me. No, you! And that's something that a cutie would say. So, you have just proven my point again. Yep, you heard me. Yes, it is. There's no evidence proven otherwise, so... you have to just live with that. And deal with it. Oh, climbing animations. With the ladders? Okay, that's pretty fucking cool. Hey, you're the one who admitted that they're submissive to a affection. So, yeah, it's not my fault that you're a bottom. And there you go, being cute again. So, yeah, you gotta just deal with it and live with it. Not really sure what else to tell you. But being funny is part of being cute, so can't really do anything to prove me wrong in that regard either. Yeah, you keep walking into the cuteness debates and you always end up losing. It's crazy and hilarious, and it's also adorable to see. You can say whatever all you want, but it's not gonna change the fact that you keep losing cuteness debates. Because you can't prove me wrong in any part of it. It actually is cute. Because, again, I've seen what you look like, so I know that it's cute. So, you're not really doing yourself any favors by bringing up that aspect. You just love it when I win the cuteness debates. Clearly. Literally everything about your appearance is cute. Specifics aren't needed, because when I say everything, I do mean everything. So... can't really do anything about that. Yeah, you keep pouting. You can keep proving my point like that. Because it's clear that you're not doing yourself any favors. You just keep proving my point. Like the good boy you are. Or should I say best boy? Yeah, I said it. Right? Now that you can't believe it, but it literally happened, so you can get a deal with it. Alright, it's clear that the cave system took me a long ways away. Let's see about where I'm at. Oh great, the cave system took me into an acacia biome. That's way out there. You'll admit it eventually. So, yeah, do with that what you will. But yeah, I literally just went through a cave system, and then after a while I went to an acacia biome? What? I was not trying to go this far in the world. Be a singular cave system wandering around session. Okay, 20 flints and steels. That's great. There's some lodestones. Got those. You won't do it of your own free will, but it will happen. So. Oh, it's not just predictions in this case, it's pure facts. Because I'll be the one making sure it happens. When you think about it. uh, Shenanigans aside, though. Um, the two YouTube channels that I recently made, one of them is for tier lists, and then the other one is basically something that's entirely different from what I normally do. So, you know, there'll be a lot of fun involving that in the future. We'll see about that. We'll 100% see about that. I know you are, but what am I? Well, I basically just did. So... you gotta deal with it. Okay, okay, I'll behave. Yeah, the only problem is that my inventory is full. On the other hand, I haven't gone back up to the surface because earlier I found what I thought was an exit, but it just turns out it wasn't exactly the exit I was looking for. Because it took me to an acacia biome instead. It took me to this stupid area of this damn acacia wood and shit. So, yeah, I am not good with directions. So therefore, I'm basically lost in this cave trying to figure out where the fuck to go. Ooh, thorns, blast protection, and mending, and some diamond leggings. I know what Curse of Vanishing does. I am not trusting that pair. Aside from that, it's not bad, but still, Curse of Vanishing is not a good enchantment to have. Because basically, if I were to die with this pair of diamond leggings here, I would lose them for good. So that's the downside. That chest already got looted. Right. Yeah, having Curse of Vanishing is not a good thing. Curse of Binding is not exactly the greatest thing to have either, because Curse of Binding, what that does is basically when you put on a piece of armor that has Curse of Binding, basically keeps that armor on you until it breaks. So yeah, having that could be a bit of a problem too. Although at least with Binding, you don't have to worry about dropping it. You know, if it's a really good piece of armor. So there is that. But still, I don't really recommend the cursed enchantments. Because it's like one of them just makes having the armor be be a waste of time, and then the other one is just it's there until it breaks, and those are downsides. As for being lost down here, yeah, it's not exactly a fun time. Plus, I ran low on torches, lighting my way around. And I've never navigated one of these myself. Like, all by myself. Like, it's the first time going through one on my own. Essentially, so... yeah, I'm used to doing this kind of thing in multiplayer. That's the other thing. Although, in terms of stuff that's unrelated, though, this live stream has been going on for almost 2 hours now, according to the thing in the top left-hand corner for me. So, clearly the issue has solved itself for now. Probably just takes a bit for the console to get used to that entire thing, so that way it'll just do its thing eventually. So, yeah, I'd say so far so good. Okay, organize... yeah. Okay, can I organize lava pull down here, so maybe instead of following that with the water combination, I can probably find my way out this way. Unless I've already been over here, in which case I won't be too surprised if I have been, I'm just not remembering properly. Everything mostly looks the same down here. This is the biggest deep dark area I've seen. So everything just looks the same. I just have to find my torches. At least a torch. So I know I'm in the right direction. And then I'll be able to go from there. Navigating something that has blocks that look the same is not a fun time. But yeah, maybe fun for like the first few minutes, but it's not as easy as it seems. Overall, it's not that fun. This kind of situation is exactly why I don't go down this kind of section of the cave. Because I know how bad my direction is going to be at that point. Especially since I am directionally challenged all the time in situations like this. Alright, hopefully this is the way. Because otherwise I'll be looping around for a while. Figure it out. Let's this path upward. Let's see what's that. Nope, just a dead end. Because of course it is. Wait, wait, I see a torch up there. It's not a torch. I think I found it. Way out. Just need to build up a little bit. So I saw a torch up here. So I'm gonna rely on that instinct. For now. Yep. There it is. Good. I just have to head up from here. Pretty sure, anyway. Yeah, there's 4 torches over here. Good, good, good. I finally figured it out. Probably gonna light up an entire pathway down there later, so I know where I'm going. I'm just not gonna be able to do that right now because I don't exactly have the resources for that. Or better yet, I could make a minecart track there, so I can get back and forth. And that would definitely take a long time, but be faster than going on foot every time I want to go down there. Although at that point, I may as well have help with building that kind of thing. Save the amethyst geodes for later, but still, at least I know where to get the calcite if I ever need it. That will come in handy. Do like grabbing the calcite from the amethyst geodes. Just the satisfying block to have and build with and all that. Although now that I think about it, in terms of stuff I was looking through for Minecraft stuff, there's like horror add-ons I can get. And I'm tempted to get a couple of those just for the fun of it. Because I have never played a Minecraft horror mod of any sort, let alone a horror add-on, in which case they're essentially the same thing, but the difference is that the add-ons are, like, purchasable ones, like, mods you can buy on the marketplace, and all that. Can't really go wrong with it for, like, console, though. Because I do enjoy getting stuff from in-game marketplace every now and then. It's basically how I got this texture pack. Makes this torch there. So, okay. Time to get some glow berries, but I don't exactly have the inventory for that right now, so I'll have to hold on to that temptation. Come back for that. But yeah, I don't know if getting a horror add-on for Minecraft would really be worth it. Like, it'd be one thing if I were to get it for, like, Halloween-related content, but outside of that, I don't know. That's kind of why I'm ignoring that stuff. Because I don't even know if it'd really be all that worth it. Well, it's not textures, it's more like stuff that adds, like, horror mobs. Like, I can get, like, a Backrooms add-on. I can actually get a couple of those. There's, like, I think there's also, like, a Backrooms world I can download after purchasing it as well. Amongst other things. There's also, like, the Cave Dweller. You know, some actual horror shit. Not just texture packs. But actual stuff that gives me more things to fuck around with. I just don't do well with the horror stuff a lot of the time. Like, the scariest thing I put up with is, like, Until Dawn. And that's pretty much that. Yeah, there's a decent amount of horror-related content I can grab. There's also Poppy Playtime add-ons. There's at least one of those. So, yeah. A decent amount. To say the least. I'm pretty sure it's... Well, I mean, depending on the horror game, I can understand, but in most cases, I reckon it's because you're a chicken. Because I used to be scared of horror games, too. So, I know. Well, I do have a good amount of horror games for console. Like, I have some Five Nights at Freddy's games, Resident Evil, Until Dawn. Those are the main ones I have. On console, I don't have any on PC. So. Do with that information what you will. Simply put, I do enjoy playing the occasional horror game at times. It's been a while. Yeah, I know what it's like to be chicken for horror games, but it wasn't to that extent for me. I just know that my brother Jared won't be able to handle some of the horror games I have, because he doesn't do well with, like, blood and gore related stuff. I can handle that shit perfectly fine. Yeah, and I do have, and a couple of playthroughs I have on my main channel do involve horror games. So you'll know which ones those are. Okay, so there's thunderstorming game going on. But yeah, it's a lot of fun playing horror games every now and then. I just don't make a habit out of it because if I have too much adrenaline going on, I'll experience chest pain, and I would rather not deal with that frequently because I would rather keep myself as healthy as possible. My health comes first at that point. But, you know, nowadays I can pretty much handle a lot of the stuff that horror games have. I don't know, you forgot what you were going to say, but I'm sure that if you'll eventually remember it. Even if it's not going to be right away or even soon, in any sense. You know, it could come back later, you never know. I know I've said that before, but, you know, I do believe that will happen at some point. I am also someone who who occasionally looks into Minecraft creepypastas. Do occasionally look into the Minecraft ones. So, yeah. It's a lot of interesting stuff. Ah, fair enough. If it involves you being chicken, and or something like that, then yeah. Could have been about my brother Jared being able to handle blood and gore. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. I can't predict anything. All I can do is guess. And that's about it. On the other hand, though, it seems I finally made my way back. And I'm heading back up to the surface. Therefore, I will be able to clean out my inventory. Ah. Until Dawn has a lot. It's not realistic, but it is kind of close to realistic in some sense. So I don't blame you for wanting to look away. Um, for me, I was able to handle it perfectly fine. Although there was like a point close to the end of Until Dawn where I felt like I was gonna throw up. Although that was like prior to when I started making content involving that game because I chose to play through my first time with it without making content. So, yeah. But I still got through it. I didn't throw up or anything. I didn't puke. When it comes to my brother Jared, it's not just the sight of it that bugs him. Like, he can handle a little bit himself. However, generally speaking, the reason why he doesn't really bother with anything like that is because his imagination runs wild with that kind of stuff. So, like, let's say something that involves like a syringe were to be involved, his imagination would run wild with that, and he can't control that kind of thing. It's one of those things for him. And that's basically that. If that makes sense. So, yeah, that's why I don't have him playing through horror games. Well, I don't see him do that. As much as I'd love to, I know that he has his limits with that kind of stuff, so. I know nothing about Silent Hill 2. I haven't seen gameplay of the Silent Hill games. But Until Dawn definitely takes things to a much higher level than Resident Evil ever will when it comes to the blood and gore. Obviously, if you do end up checking out the playthrough of Until Dawn, you'll see exactly what I mean. Or at least know exactly what I mean. Because believe me, it's out there. Just a warning for you. That way you're not having an unexpected moment or anything. Like, I know I can handle that kind of thing, but, you know, whether you'd be able to is an entirely different thing. That's the main thing that concerned me when it comes to you checking it out. Not saying it's a bad thing, but still. Well, I will at least say that Until Dawn, does take things out there, like I said, but it's not as close to, like, The Shining, in terms of, like, blood and gore levels. And I'm comparing a horror game to a horror movie, for context. So, yeah. Because The Shining, which is a horror movie, is even more out there. And all I'll say is if you know, you know. I'm not gonna go into the details of that one, but I heard it's one of the ones that's a bit out there in general. And on so many levels. Not on the same level as Until Dawn. Probably on a much higher level comparison. I wouldn't know though, because I've never seen that horror movie. Until Dawn does have a movie of its own, but it's really not that similar in a lot of ways. Because when it comes to the Until Dawn movie, there's at least Easter eggs that involve, like, the game. And in a lot of ways, it kind of hints at it being a prequel to the game. based off the Easter eggs alone. Plus, it's a different cast of characters for both ends. And all that, too. A lot of differences. The blood and gore levels are also much more different as well, so... yeah, that's just how it is, essentially. Now that's a bad thing. Because, you know, I honestly enjoyed both. The Until Dawn movie and the Until Dawn video game. But, you know, if you're not used to that kind of stuff, or just straight up can't handle too much of something, then I can't really recommend it too much. Resident Evil is mild in comparison, to say the least. So you won't have too many problems with the Resident Evil games, at least from what I've seen. So you should be fine with that, at the very least, if nothing else. Because it doesn't take things as far with the blood and gore. It's occasional if it does go that far, but it's not as big a deal most of the time. So, yeah. In terms of blood and gore, Until Dawn beats Resident Evil by a landslide, from what I've seen. So, yeah, that's how I'd compare that. That stuff aside, though, Until Dawn isn't all that bad. Like, yeah, it has the occasional swear words. It also has, like, characters bantering with each other. Various jump scares. Basically, what you'd expect from a horror game. It involves a group of people. And also, Until Dawn has, like, the butterfly effect as a game mechanic. And basically, who lives and who dies is ultimately up to the player and their choices. So, yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff when it comes to that. Yeah, in comparison, when it comes to the jump scares, Until Dawn's jump scares are much more scary than the ones from Five Nights at Freddy's. So I hate to break that to you, but it's not that mild when it comes to the jump scares. Like, they even use, like, Until Dawn even involves, like, real life phobias, like the fear of clowns, things like that, which are part of the decisions that you can make. Or more like the ones you have to make, but still, that stuff is there. Believe it or not, it's one of those kinds of things. And obviously, that stuff will affect the story a little bit too, because it will determine the jump scares that you see. and all that. Yeah, speaking of Five Nights at Freddy's 4, I do have that, but I can't really recommend it myself, because I can't get past the damn first night, because after the tutorial ends, I'm only able to last for, like, a little bit, then I end up dying to mistiming something, and then I just get myself killed in that game. So, yeah, the other ones I can handle, the other three I can handle perfectly fine. I also have the Security Breach as well. I don't have all the Five Nights at Freddy's games, because I don't really want to waste my time getting all those, necessarily, if I can help it. The only one I would probably avoid is Ultimate Custom Night, which is, there's like a Ultimate Custom Night game, and basically, yeah, for FNAF 4, I cannot do that. The sound mechanic is a bitch, but there's a game called that basically involves setting up multiple custom nights, and you can it's basically Ultimate Custom Night for a reason. And in terms of that has like all the jump scares from all that. Yeah, that has all the that involves like all the jump scares from all the games. I am avoiding that because there's no way in hell I would be able to beat that. I am not touching that game. That's probably the main one that I would avoid, personally. Because that would just not be a fun time. That'd be torture. And I would rather not know what the PlayStation achievements are for it. Like that's something I would much rather not know. Hey, it's not my fault the sound mechanic is a bitch. Like, even, like, my brother Nate has gone farther in that game than I have. That's because he relied on max volume. But even then, it was pretty difficult for him to get through the amount that he did. I don't know how far he got, but I know he got farther than me. But, yeah, it's not easy to do, even with max volume. I'm not putting my volume up at max just to play that. I'm not ruining my hearing for that. That's just gonna be a big no-no. Thing is that my brother Nate played the PC version. I have the console version. Yeah, I'm not hurting my ears with that. And besides, that would mean using my headset, its usage. Because I used to have a habit of having things at max volume with like laptops I've used. It kills headphones quicker than you'd think. That's why I have to have things balanced nowadays. It's because I don't want that kind of shit to happen again. This is one of those things. Yeah, well, at least like, I basically tried playing it with balanced volume. Personally, because I chose to play things the safe way with that. Like, it'd take a goddamn miracle for me to even beat that damn game. Although the crazy thing is that when I played FNAF 1 on console for the first time, I was about to summon Golden Freddy on night 1. Somehow. Because I was getting those in the first game. I was getting those signs in the first game where it's like that was gonna happen. Yeah, I have that on YouTube, by the way. So, yeah, it happened. The console version has that as a thing. And apparently it was a thing with the PC version, but whether that got patched or not is a different situation. The console versions came out much later. So, yeah. Although I feel like that's meant to be there, considering it's just an in-game jump scare related thing and all that. But yeah, I was not expecting that to happen because it's like I was not told that could happen, like at all. So I was not expecting it. Like no one told me anything about that. But obviously that video, that specific video, was basically back when I was still being scared as shit. But everything out after that is basically after that point. So yeah, to some degree. It's just that I was not expecting that kind of situation to happen in FNAF 1 right off the bat. Essentially, because, like, according to my brother Nate, it may have been due to me checking the cameras too much or something. Because I told him about that. It's like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, at least it's only for the one, like, that one video and then the beginning of, like, the Resident Evil 7 playthrough that I did. Unfortunately, that playthrough I haven't gotten back to because, let's say I got lost at the end of Resident Evil 7. And because of one area, and that's that. You'll know when you watch that series. So, yeah. Out of the later live streams that I did for Resident Evil 7 is basically me just casually going through the game. Not being jump scared. Like, I even casually... Like, one of the bosses in Resident Evil 7 is basically a character turning into a spider, and I have to fight that as a boss. And I casually sat through that. Despite the fact that I'm scared of spiders. So... that is just crazy. Think about it. And you'll know when you get there. I wasn't noticing the poster like, at all because I was just panicking due to what was on my face. By that I mean like those weird vision things that pop up on in front of me. You know, like in front of you when you trigger that shit. So I was just panicking due to that, and I just basically quit the game after those jump scares happened. So I did not see the fucking poster to change at all because I was being a little bitch. Laugh at it now, but back then it was scary as hell. Telling you, this is crazy. Although the good thing about playing the FNAF games on console is that there's an actual pause button for like the first 4 games and all that. So that means I can essentially just pause whenever I want. Sally, no. There was no screaming. Just me freaking the hell out. Again, you'll have to watch the videos for yourself to see exactly what I mean. But yeah, the only reason why I don't scream is because the walls aren't really thick enough to make the sound quiet at all from any direction. So I kind of have to be as quiet as possible a lot of the time. But if I end up getting too loud with my talking, it is what it is. If I scream, then that'll be unexpected, and I don't want to cause any situations of screaming. I'm not doing that. I know better. And also, my room is not soundproof either. I don't have that kind of stuff. So, screaming doesn't really have use for me. It, so I'm just stuck with freaking the hell out. When the moment calls for it. Uh... well, basic screams... Well, all of my screams are high-pitched. However, if you piss me off in a specific way, I will scream like a fucking banshee. That's when I get pissed off, but regular screams are just regular high-pitched ones that are loud as hell. Me screaming like a banshee is much louder, and it bugs my throat when it comes to screaming like a banshee as well. So, yeah, there's a big difference. My voice may be in the deeper end by default, but when I scream, I get high-pitched with that. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Believe me, you don't want to hear me screaming like a banshee, because I will ruin your hearing, potentially. And I don't want to do that. Sadly, there isn't any screams recorded. Like, for any of my content, so you won't be able to hear it at all, so... Um, essentially, I'm safe from having to be blamed for ruining your hearing via my content, which is always a good thing. I prefer not to ruin your content, like ruin your time watching content. Mine. I'm not someone who will ruin someone's hearing intentionally, because I'm not gonna be an asshole. Your hearing is too important, and I'm not willing to ruin it in any way. I know that you're probably hoping to hear me scream, but that's just not gonna happen. Videos or live streams. None of that. As much as I hate to break that to you, and to some degree, especially since I know you wanted to hear my screams sound like. I'm not doing that for content. That'd be a good reason for that. If I were to do it. So. Yeah, I'm just not gonna do that without a good reason. On the other hand, though, for one of my playthroughs, I think it was the Neo The World Ends With You playthrough that I have available on YouTube. There was actually one point in that where I was crying a little bit, because a part of that game got emotional. So, yeah. It won't be noticeable in my voice, though. It'll just be me bringing it up momentarily, I think. If I'm calling correctly. So, yeah, you should at least know what that kind of experience will be like. To some degree. That's something you're looking for. That's outside, though. There's not really much else. To really say on the matter. Yeah, I'll definitely be crying at that point, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. Because you're that important to me. Plus, I'm telling him I literally said like you're the most important person in my life. So, yeah, if you were to turn me down at any point when it comes to like something major, yeah, I'll most likely be crying about that. That's how it is. When it comes to me, though, like, when it comes to something as important as people I care about, when it comes to those kinds of situations, involve people I care about, such as yourself, yeah, that's basically what will happen. Although, the crazy thing, on the contrary here, is that, obviously this was a few years ago, but, when I had to go to my father's funeral, I didn't cry at all. So, that's a bit weird. I have no idea what was wrong with me at that time. But yeah, that's just a fact. It's ridiculous. And yet when my dog, Sammy, died, I was bawling my eyes out, essentially. That's how badly I was crying when Sammy passed away. It's an interesting comparison that can kind of be laughed at a little bit, but at the same time, it's extremely sad as hell. Regardless of which end you look at. Simply put, I can either be extremely emotional, or I can just sit there and make it seem like everything is okay. And, that's just something I've learned how to do. For whatever reason. Well, at least I can make up for what I lack in some sense. Because, obviously, I can make background music for you if you need it. Even when you get to that point where you actually do need it, whatever the case need be. Things like that, so. Plus, we can share our video game preferences together in real life when the time comes as well. And on top of that, you get free therapy from me. So, when you think about it, I also have, it's also a lot of responsibility on my end, too. But I can handle it. I don't know how I managed to do all that. Like, I don't know how I managed to do all that on top of content creation. Especially since making background music takes time, but being a therapist for others and making content is on the easier end of things. In comparison. Like, trying to balance all that will be tedious as hell if I ever make it past just commissions. For, like, the background music. Things I do in life is a lot. In some sense. Alright. Good night to you too. Sleep well. I love you too. Alright, I think I'm gonna end this live stream here. I don't have anything planned, so we'll just live stream when I can, or maybe a live stream on YouTube. Who knows? Well, when and where I'll live stream again. Goodbye for now, my beautiful blossoms. Remember to stay beautiful, stay hydrated, and stay safe.